Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be reacting to Darius, the Hand of Noxus. If this is your first time checking out the channel, what we do is we take a look at his biography and story first. We move on to any little cinematics he may have, take a look at his abilities, we take a look at the skins, the wiki, and we finally end off with any voice lines Darius has. So we are doing this after seeing Season 2 of Arcane, and what kind of led me to Darius was more the idea of I think we will probably be going to Noxus in the future TV show for League of Legends. It just makes the most sense to me to go to Noxus next with, Mel being in the show and other things like that. So I was just like, okay, we've done a few Noxus people. We've done actually quite a few Noxus people. If you haven't already, go check those out. We've done LeBlanc, we've done Swain, we've done Sion, etc., Riven, and more of those champs. So I was like, okay, Darius we haven't done, Draven we haven't done. Those are like the three heads, right, of, and Swain are the three heads of Noxus. So I was like, okay, we got to learn a little bit more about the dynamic going on in Noxus. Now, I know Darius, from like the get-go and everything that I've seen of Darius, he obviously just seems like your typical soldier warrior kind of guy for Noxus, I guess, right? But I'm sure there's a little bit more there to his background, so I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into Darius's lore, and we're going to do that here today. All right, let's start off with his page here. So it says the quote, "History only remembers the victors. Stand with Noxus and be remembered forever." He's honestly not wrong about that first sentence. But do we want to stand with Noxus? I'm not sure about that one. All right, role is fighter, region is Noxus, and our related champions, we have Draven, Katarina, which we've also reacted to, Swain, and Vladimir. Yeah, we've reacted to every single champion here except for Draven. There is no greater symbol of Noxian might than Darius, the nation's most feared and battle-hardened leader. Rising from humble origins to become the Hand of Noxus, he cleaves through the Empire's enemies, many of them Noxians themselves. Knowing that he never doubts his cause is just and never hesitates once his axe is raised, those who stand against the commander of the Trifarian Legion can expect no mercy. All right, yeah, that's about what I expected, so let's go into the biography. Darius and his brother Draven grew up as orphans in the port city of Basilic. Darius struggled to provide for them both, constantly fighting with gangs of older urchins and anyone else who threatened his little brother, even the city guard. Every day on the streets was a battle for survival, and Darius earned more scars by his 12th summer than some soldiers do in a lifetime. After Basilic was seized by the expanding Noxian Empire, the victorious commander Cyrus saw the strength in these defiant brothers, and they found a home within the ranks of his war host. Over the years, they fought in many grueling campaigns of conquest from one end of the known world to the other, as well as crushing a number of rebellions against the throne. Within the Empire, anyone could rise to power, no matter their birth, culture, or background, and none embraced this ideal more fervently than Darius. From humble beginnings, he rose steadily through the ranks, always putting duty before all else, and garnering great respect for his aggression, discipline, and refusal to ever take a backward step. On the blood-soaked fields of Dalamore Plain, he even beheaded a Noxian general after the coward ordered a retreat. Oh, geez. Roaring in defiance and hefting his bloodied axe overhead, Darius rallied the scattered warbands and won a great and unexpected victory against a far more numerous foe. He was rewarded with a senior command of his own, attracting many thousands of eager recruits from across the Empire. Darius turned the majority away, accepting only the strongest, the most disciplined and iron-willed. Such was his fearsome notoriety, even in the lands beyond Noxus, that it was not uncommon for entire cities to surrender at the first sight of his banners. After a grinding victory against the cloud fortress of the Varju, a proud warrior people who had resisted decades of Noxian aggression, Darius was named the Hand of Noxus by Emperor Boram Darkwill himself. Okay, so he was Hand before Boram Darkwill is gone. Those who knew Darius best knew he craved neither power nor adulation. He wished merely to see Noxus triumph over all, so Darkwill ordered him and his warhost far north into the Freljord to finally bring the barbarian tribes to heel. Yeah, good luck with that one. The campaign dragged on for years, ending in a bitter, icy stalemate, yeah. Darius narrowly survived assassination attempts, ambushes, and even capture by the vicious Winter's Claw. He was growing weary of endless wars of attrition and returned to Noxus to demand a reconsolidation of the military. He marched his veterans into the capital only to find that the emperor was dead, killed in a coup led by Jericho Swain. The act had been supported by many allies, including Darius's own brother Draven. This was a difficult position. As Hand, many of the noble houses would expect Darius to avenge Darkwill, but he had known and greatly respected the disgrace to General Swain and had spoken against his discharge after the botched offensive in Ionia some years earlier. The oaths of the Hand were to Noxus, not any particular ruler, and Swain was a man who spoke honestly of his new vision for the Empire. Darius realized this was a leader he was prepared to follow, but Swain had other ideas. Oh. With the establishment of the Trifarics, 3 individuals would rule Noxus together, each embodying one principle of strength: vision, might, and guile. Darius gladly accepted his place on this council and pledged to raise a new elite force, the Trifarian Legion, the most loyal and prestigious warriors the Empire could produce, and lead the armies of Noxus into a glorious new age of conquest. All right, so we didn't really, I learned obviously like his upbringing, he was a rough child. He was already like, he had been beat up and bruised and battered by the age of 12 already. He joins the army immediately with Draven, and then he ends up getting his own army. He ends up beheading another Noxian general. The new stuff here, I guess for me, maybe I may have forgotten about it or something. But I didn't really actually know that Noxus tried to go into the Freljord to take out, the barbarians up there. I was like, good luck with that, because the Freljord are definitely some fierce warriors in my opinion. So that's why it ended up being a stalemate. And then by the time he gets back, that's when Darkwill has been killed. So cool stuff in here. I'm interested to see what else we get from Darius. All right, we have the story called the Winterspike Road. By evening, the snow had soaked all the way through Maja's boots. With each step, she could feel icy water slosh from her heel to her toes like a flaying knife drawn along her foot. Other soldiers were struggling too. 15 miles downhill in waist-high snow wasn't easy, but the legionnaires at the head of the column weren't limping. Their steps kept the confident rhythm they'd struck since morning, and their watchful eyes were still glued to the horizon. They probably have better boots, Maja thought. Trifarians are tough, but nobody's that tough in standard-issue boots. Hey, Zalt muttered, holding up. Zalt, the only Minotaur in the warband, was taller, wider, and older than everyone else. He was plowing a deep trench through the snow on sturdy hooves. Seeing this Minotaur is making me wonder, should I do an Alistar reaction? I don't know. I think his stuff is pretty old. You guys let me know. Maja was jealous. Wish I couldn't feel my feet, she said. If I didn't have feet, no one could make me march. In the last campaign against the Winter's Claw, I saw a soldier's foot freeze solid, Zalt said. His toes cracked off when he put his boot on, so wham, General Darius chopped the whole thing off. Okay, so we're getting, this must be during like the Freljord Noxus battles here. Maja turned her gaze down the mountain. On a bend in the road far below, she could see Darius himself, the hand of Noxus, might incarnate. The general's huge axe gleamed on his back. You're lucky to be here, Zalt told her. Darius knows this road better than anyone. He built it during Darkwill's campaign, and we can help him take it back. A little lick of anger burned in Zalt's eye. Damned Winter's Claw. Cliffs rose sheer on either side of Darius's mountain road. Looking up, Maja could see the silhouettes of soldiers standing atop them. The scouts don't get a rest, do they? She asked. What? She pointed. The scouts. Which scouts? Zalt asked. Then he looked up too. Whatever curse he bellowed was smothered by the avalanche. Two curtains of white separated from the cliff tops above them. Almost instantly, they filled the pass. Chunks of hard-packed snow smashed into the Noxian column, swallowing the soldiers row by row as the avalanche raced downhill. Maja braced, but it was like being hit by a charging basilisk. There was tumbling terror and awful weightlessness, then darkness and the crush of winter. I personally have like kind of a fear of an avalanche, even though I don't live like near any like possibilities of an avalanche, but I feel like a death by avalanche would be so scary. Crunch. Someone heaved Maja out of the snowpack. Get up, he commanded, a voice ringing like the clash of blades. Dig them out. She shook herself and started to dig. Then she realized she was digging beside the general himself. Darius found a cloven foot in the snow. Zalt, Maja shouted. She helped the general heave him out. Maja looked back up the frosty slope far above. Winter's Claw warriors were picking through the scattered remains of the Noxian dead. No retreat now, Maja thought. Darius was counting heads. Officers, he called. 2 Trifarian legionnaires swiftly ran over. Report casualties. There's a river over the next ridge. We'll fortify there. Darius surveyed the battered Noxian ranks, his expression burning with barely leashed anger. If you can't walk, crawl. Wow, okay, so we're like kind of seeing Darius from another person's point of view, which is kind of cool. As the pale sun plummeted toward the horizon, Winter's Claw skirmishers followed the Noxian column all the way down to the frozen river, peppering them with barbed arrows. However, the probing fire didn't slow down the disciplined Trifarian legion. Maja's breath grew ragged as she hurried to keep up with them. The frozen river was wide and slick enough to make it a dangerous approach for the Winter's Claw, and by holding the bank, the Noxians knew any attack would have to come from the nearby tree line. In spite of the sporadic fire from the shadows beneath the pines, Darius ordered 2 snow trenches dug parallel to the bank. Soldiers repurposed shields into shovels, and Maja saw Darius doing the same. Remember this, Zalt said. You saw the hand of Noxus digging with the infantry. Everyone then sharpened stakes for the outer trench. Darius checked defenses along the line, but stopped at Zalt. You're familiar, he said. I fought in the first Freljord campaign, General. Zalt nodded at Maja, told this youngster how much worse it was. Darius looked Maja over. This is your first action, he said. Maja wondered how he could tell. Yes, General. Don't waste time on fear, he told her. Focus on facing the enemy, on putting your blade in their throats. Wow. Don't waste time on fear is kind of a crazy quote. Maja wasn't sure what to say. Zip, something parted the air between them and a javelin lodged in the wall of the trench. Maja turned toward the tree line. Branches were shaking, blades were shining, and moonlight glinted on polished bone. Stand to, Darius bellowed. As the Noxian scrambled for cover and another volley of javelins flew from the trees, Maja saw a soldier stagger, 3 feet of knotty wood sprouting from his chest. Darius pushed past Maja and Zalt, arrows pinging off the axe on his back. Soon, they'll charge soon, he told them. His eyes were lit with fierce excitement. That's when we'll strike. And just as he spoke, a snarling came from the trees. A pack of 6-legged cat-like shadows raced out of the darkness, trained wildclaws leaping for Noxian throats. The Winter's Claw followed. As Trifarian legionnaires rose from the trench to meet them, Maja drew her sword. She saw Darius bring his axe down like a guillotine. She rose too, ready to fight, when Zalt collapsed beside her. A javelin was buried in his shoulder. I want this as a cinematic. Go, he gasped, but Maja planted herself beside him. Winter's Claw warriors on them in an instant, hatches swinging. Zalt deflected a skull-crushing strike with his good arm, and Maja tripped their attacker. But instead of delivering the killing blow, she turned back to Zalt. She could save him. She had to. She pushed Zalt toward the river, away from the fight, and they slithered out into the ice behind the Noxian line. As Zalt fell to his knees, struggling for breath, Maja had a sudden urge to flee across the river with him. Don't, Zalt could tell what she was thinking. A Noxian never flees. Maja's heart seemed to be beating in her throat. She opened her mouth to argue with Zalt. I am a Noxian, I am. But her mouth refused to form the words. Then Zalt's eyes widened and a heavy hand landed on Maja's shoulder. She knew who it was before she turned around. Face the enemy, Darius growled. You're not facing them. With a flick of his arm, Darius spun her on the ice. Noxians who flee die, he said. By your hand, Maja knew. By that axe, as she stared. Darius hefted the axe above his head, and for an instant, Maja thought, this is it, my execution. But the moment never came. A flurry of arrows ricocheted off the flat of the blade, falling harmlessly around them, and Darius lowered the axe again. Noxians don't run, we win, he growled. We chop them to pieces for what they do to us. Whoa. Dude, Darius is crazy as a general. And suddenly, Maja was angry at the Winter's Claw and at herself and at her fear. With jerking frozen limbs, she shoved Zalt aside. She heard him grunt as he hit the ice, but she left him there, and Darius did too. Beside him, lockstep, she ran into the whirlwind of Noxian steel. Their blades flashed, and Maja swung hers until her muscles burned and her hand was sore from impact after impact. And with each hammering blow, she reminded herself, live, win, chop them to pieces. By sunrise, the Winter's Claw had been routed. When they returned, Darius and Maja found Zalt at the riverbank, his chest prickled with arrows, dead. Maja felt numb. She'd been telling herself, maybe he rallied, maybe he fought, but he'd just died where they left him. I was trying to protect him, she told Darius. He was a good soldier. I was trying to protect him. Darius paused. That was a poor decision, he said. Maja startled. Sir, you should have been fighting alongside soldiers who still had a chance of living. He turned his gaze to Maja. She shuddered. His eyes were like iron. Old Zalt was ready to die, but you should have been ready to fight. Yes, she stammered. I'll do better, sir. Darius turned north toward the dawn-lit slopes of the Winterspike Mountains. Maja could see campfires up there, smoke rising through the trees. The Winter's Claw waiting. Then do it fast, Darius said. Wow, yeah, you really... I like that we're not getting it from Darius's point of view, but we're getting it from one of the soldiers in his army, because that's kind of the perspective you want to get of Darius. You don't want like a first-person point of view, because, you know, we have already had that. We get that all the time. So it's kind of cool to see like a third-person point of view of Darius and how he actually treats people in his army. And while, yeah, he might be a little harsh, this is kind of the person that you would rather have as a general in your army rather than somebody that's a little bit more, you know, like compassionate or just like a little soft. You kind of want somebody like this to be your general in your army, right? He's very strategic as well, as you can see throughout like some of the plans that he had and everything, and that's how they ended up routing the Winter's Claw in this fight. Again, though, another story that would be awesome as a cinematic if they ever do one. I think it would be really good. All right, guys, we're taking a look at Darius's ability page first. Role is fighter/tank. Difficulty is low. All right, so I know Darius is like a pretty old champion, so I figure like he was one of the first like warrior/tank kind of just regular kind of characters, like melee tanky characters in the game. So let's just take a look at the abilities. So the passive is Hemorrhage. Darius's attacks and damaging abilities cause enemies to bleed for physical damage over 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. And then Darius enrages and gains massive attack damage when his target reaches max stacks. Okay, so just straight up like a bleed ability for him. And then we have Decimate is his Q. Let's see it. Oh, it's a big swing of his axe, and it starts a little slow. Like he aims it up first, and then it swings. So Darius winds up and swings his axe in a wide circle. Enemies struck by the blade take more damage than those struck by the handle. Oh, interesting. Darius heals based on enemy champions and large monsters hit by the blade. Cool. Pretty straightforward, right, so far. Crippling Strike, W. Darius's next attack strikes an enemy's crucial artery. Let's see it. Okay. As they bleed out, their move speed is slowed. Cool. Pretty basic again. And then Apprehend is E. He's like kind of get over here kind of ability. Darius hones his axe, passively causing his physical damage to ignore a percentage of his target's armor. When activated, Darius sweeps up his enemies with his axe's hook and pulls them to him. How far is he doing that from? Pretty far, actually. And then his ultimate, Noxian Guillotine. Oh, wow. He just jumps up and slams his axe down. Insane. There's a lot of blood, obviously. Obviously, he's like a bleed type of character. Darius leaps to an enemy champion and strikes a lethal blow, dealing true damage. This damage is increased for each stack of hemorrhage on the target. If Noxian Guillotine is a killing blow, its cooldown is refreshed for a brief duration. Ooh, that's really cool. So he could like go on a freaking pentakill with it, right? All right, yeah, like he seems pretty straightforward. I don't know if any of these abilities have changed since he came out. I'm sure they've obviously tweaked it since, you know, obviously over the years of League of Legends. But you guys let me know if Darius ever had like this moment in the meta where he was just like super OP or anything. You guys let me know about that. All right, we're starting off with something I'm like almost 1,000% positive we haven't seen. It's called Darius Fear League Animation Workshop. So it's an animation workshop just for Darius. I know we've seen one of these for Zed, and I'm not quite sure another person, but... Okay, the Freljord again. I had no idea, like, Noxus was doing anything with the Freljord, I'll be honest with you. Or these just could be, like, some mountains north of Noxus.
Men from lesser men?
Fear.
Predators from prey?
Because he mentioned fear in his story. Don't waste your time on fear, right?
Fear.
Okay, I like that. I like that that's his overall, like, kind of motto.
Predators smell it.
Oh, they're backing off
And
because...
walk away when they don't.
Wow. Hey, that's actually a cool 1-minute trailer. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. The wolves have the numbers, but they still fear Darius because he literally was not afraid of them. Yeah, so we've definitely seen all of these other ones. We've seen Lux, Misfortune, and Zed. These were really cool. I liked all of these. I know the Zed one I really wanted as like a full-fledged animation, but this was sick as well. All right, everybody, we are revisiting actually a video that I saw way back when I started first doing League of Legends cinematics and everything before I knew anything about the world of Runeterra. So we're going to watch Tales of Runeterra Noxus After Victory, and I haven't seen this since, so I don't remember everything in it, but we should get a good idea of like everything going on in it now that we're kind of a lot more knowledgeable on League of Legends and stuff. So we're at Urtis. And this is just Darius and Noxus taking over more territories, huh? In the northern area.
It is over. We have the city. Surrender your crown.
I feel like I recognize his voice.
End this bloodshed.
Okay, what are we doing? What does Darius and Noxus do when they take over a region?
Granted to me by my royal blood. As are these lands and my
They just kill the king?
subjects.
Oh.
You no longer have subjects. Today, they become citizens of Noxus.
Yeah, everybody just becomes a part of
Rejoice at the
Noxus.
end of kings. Noxus offers freedom and fortune for any strong enough to take it.
Oh, girl. She wants to save the crown. See, Darius kind of likes that. She had no fear.
My crown.
Returned to me by a slave. Unworthy even to touch it or stand in my presence.
Okay, that guy doesn't deserve a crown. Lame.
Can't you see, Noxian? The gods return the crown to me.
Yeah,
And
okay.
this bloodshed? No. The kingdom is mine. or it is a graveyard. Show them, girl. Die for your king.
That's crazy to say.
No.
Insolent villain!
Oof. He came so fast, too. Oh, okay, never mind. He threw his axe. Sick. He deserved it. I mean, I have no idea if the king was going to live, but...
Kings demand you kneel before their heirlooms and unearned titles. Noxus wants you to stand, so you can be reforged in a glory.
Now listen.
Shared by all.
There are many things that I have problems with when it comes to Noxus, right? They're trying to take over more territories, trying to advance into Ionia, trying to advance into the Freljord. But, I mean, taking out, like, a king like that, or, like, I don't know. You know, the fact that there's, like, 3 rulers in all of Noxus instead of just having the 1 ruler. Like, I feel like that's a little better, but yeah, okay. I feel like I'm trying to defend Noxus, but also at the same time, not really, because Noxus is pretty bad. Pretty rough out there in Noxus. That was a really cool trailer, and I think that, I would say, would be, like, my main trailer for Darius, in my opinion. Like, if there was going to be an actual trailer for Darius, I think that's a perfect one. All right, continuing on with Legends of Runeterra, we just have his champion showcase. It's only a minute long. It's probably not going to show too much, but... Oh, that's cool. He's surrounded, sharpening his axe.
My axe is ready.
Ooh. Oh, this is not an HD, guys. That's my fault. Here we go. So wait, he's a 6/5. I want to look at the card. 6/5, 6 mana, overwhelm, and then the level up on the enemy nexus has 10 or less health. Ooh, okay. All about conquering and doing more damage. Yep. All right, with overwhelming damage, he goes all in to end games fast. Yeah, but he's at 6 cost. When their nexus is at half health, he levels up. Let's see it. Will they show the level up animation? This seems like an older trailer. Even in the middle of combat. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, that's awesome. It throws the axe at you and like pulls you in. That's kind of cool. I actually really like that effect. I feel like that's kind of unique compared to some of the other level up animations, so I really like that one.
Remember why you fight, brother. Blah blah Noxus, blah blah strength.
Okay, hold on, Draven making me laugh. That was good. Okay. I loved that level up animation. Super unique in my opinion. If any of you are playing Legends of Runeterra, please let me know how Darius is in the current meta. And also, I'm curious what you guys think about League of Legends actually making a physical trading card game. You guys will have to let me know your thoughts on that. All right, guys, last but not least, we do have Darius's login screen from like 9 years ago. It's only a minute long. There was a login screen for Dunkmaster Darius, and then also, I think, God King Darius. I decided against those. You know, those are alternate universes and everything like that. They might be cool or whatever, but we're going to go with the original login screen because that's kind of the only one that matters. Unless they finally do an updated champion theme to him, but I don't see that coming anytime soon. Maybe when we get a new show in Noxus, perhaps we'll get an update to Darius. We'll see. All right. I'm expecting just like war general kind of marching drums kind of vibe here. Or like a conqueror's song. I don't know if those are like French horns, tubas, giving that like marching vibe. And then we do have the drums too in the back. Look at the hair and the wind. Oh, I like the choir coming in, making it epic. The choir will always make a song epic. Cool. Obviously, needs to be a little longer. We need an updated champion theme for Darius, I think, in my opinion. But I don't know if we'll get that anytime soon. All right, guys. There we go. All right, everybody. I am absolutely sure I've seen this. It is called Breathe. It is the launch video for Legends of Runeterra. It looks like Darius is involved in this video quite a bit. So let's go ahead and watch it. It's 4 minutes long. I've probably watched it one time when we were doing all of the League of Legends cinematics. So I won't remember. And now we have more knowledge about League of Legends. So this might be cool. Oh, and we're starting with Darius. I like this animation style. Kind of comic booky. Who is that up there? Oh, Zed. Oh, we must be in Ionia. Okay. This would be a cool fight to watch. Jeez. I like that Zed's just watching. Probably strategizing. The song is cool too. I, for some reason, don't remember this song. I mean, this video has a lot of views, so somehow this one has been forgotten by me. Ooh. Sick. Cool. Who is that up there in the trees? Oh. He has help. To people that don't like the Kinku Order? Oh, who are they? Who are these random characters? Are they basically like random cards on your team as well? Trying to involve like how Legends of Runeterra works? Hey, they're helping, man. Oh, this is what I want. These two fighting. I also missed this cinematic when we did the Zed reaction, so it's kind of good that we're doing it for Darius. What is that? I gotta add this song to my Spotify playlist. It's an awesome song. Not sure who the music artist is. Oh, we got more of the squad showing up. Okay. This had to be so epic when you guys first saw this for Legends of Runeterra. Digital card game. You guys are probably so hyped. But now I feel like it's kind of dying, which is kind of sad to see. I know card games aren't for everybody, but I don't know. I know like Hearthstone is sticking around. You know, Magic the Gathering obviously is a little different because it's been around for a lot longer and has a physical version. I don't know how popular the Yu-Gi-Oh! Online game is, but cool. I really enjoyed that trailer and the song. That was actually super sick. All right, everybody, let's take a look at Darius's skins in League of Legends. We are again using the Phantom Wiki only because it has the layout like this for the skins versus the new League of Legends Wiki. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to pick our top 3 favorite skins. I want to hear from you guys what your favorite skins are for Darius. I'm going to go through them kind of fast because we do have quite a bit here. So I'm just going to say a little bit about them and then we'll move on, and I'll definitely pick my top 3 at the very end. All right, starting off with our original design here. I think it's a cool design here for Darius. I think his armor's sick. The axe is kind of insane. It's too big, obviously, but I mean, he can handle it. And then I would say the hair is kind of goofy, right? The hair, I mean, I guess it kind of fits Darius though, I guess, in a weird way. There are chromas for the original skin. That's kind of cool. I feel like a lot of original skins don't have chromas. All right, next up is Lord Darius. So we have like a bit of a crown on him, and he has gold armor. Ooh, I like the axe as well with the gold plating. Yeah, it's pretty cool. His face is kind of funny looking in it. He looks angry. But yeah, I really like, and I like how this is like a claw kind of back here. Yeah, this is an upgrade in my opinion to the original. All right, next up is Bioforge. He's looking like singed with that backpack. Yeah, he looks like he might be from Zaun with this, actually. Okay, it's kind of weird looking. They made him look like he's from Zaun. The axe is okay. I don't like that it's this design, but I still think it's fine. But yeah, he's just got a bunch of chem tech in him, huh? All right, next up is Woad King. So we got kind of a Freljordian kind of skin here. Oh yeah, he's got like a wolf on his right shoulder. That's sick. He looks more like a barbarian, like your traditional barbarian here. It almost looks like a World of Warcraft human warrior here a little bit, to be honest with you. All right, next is the Dunk Master skin, which I saw the trailer for this a while back. What a goofy skin. What a goofy skin. All right, listen, he's got a Noxus jersey. That's so funny. And then the jersey actually has different designs with the different chromas, and the hair changes as well. Listen, if you like basketball, which I'm sure there are a lot of people that like basketball and actually play League of Legends, sick skin. Perfect. Me, not so much. Next is Academy Darius. Oh, that's the one with the weird hair that we saw. Oh, he's a little weird, huh? I feel like Darius would be a kind of a bully kid, though, if he was at the Academy. All right, the axe is cool. The shoulder pauldrons look a little weird with the school outfit, and the hair looks funny. I kind of like it, though, because it looks goofy. Does that make sense? I like it, but we're going to move on. Next is Dreadnova. I think we've had a couple of other Dreadnova skins. They remind me of like, I don't know, Terminator a little bit, just because they're kind of, I don't know, or like just mech suits almost. Not really. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, so I like the shoulder pauldrons. It almost looks like he has a jetpack that he could use here with this design. And the axe is actually really cool. And I like the mask that he has on. This is actually a really good one. I feel like it will probably still get beat out by some of the skins coming up ahead, but I do really like Dreadnova Darius, and it fits his style perfectly. Next is God King. So this is the one that had a login screen just for it, and I can see why. Whoa, holy crap. God King Darius skin is insane. Does it have any other chromas with it? No. Wow. He's giving Devil May Cry vibes with the hair and kind of the armor. I feel like it's very Devil May Cry. If you know, you know. This is a really good skin. Dreadnova is still good, but this is kind of a step above it, I think, in my opinion. God King Darius is badass. All right, next. Everybody's got a High Noon skin out there. All right, does it work for Darius? Because I don't think it works for everybody, but let's take a look at Darius. Ooh, I actually like that the axe looks like that. It's got like a little revolver. I forget what that thing is actually called on the revolver. Cylinder, maybe. Ooh, the cape is sick. The back is sick. Yeah, I think it actually works for Darius. Now, is it my favorite skin that we've seen? No, I think God King's a little better. But I think for a High Noon skin, this is honestly pretty solid. Alrighty, next is Lunar Beast. Oh, okay. We've seen a couple of these, I believe. Yeah, that's that color scheme. All right, I like the horns on the top. The axe is actually really cool. The only thing I think maybe bothering me here is the streetwear. The streetwear looks a little weird and goofy on him, like the tech pants. I don't know. Let's see some chromas for it. Doesn't make it too much better. I actually think the original one might be better, or maybe this black one at the back here. I think it's good. I think it's solid. I think it's a little bit, goofy looking in some parts, but I do like the axe quite a bit. Next is Crime City Nightmare. Okay. Feel like it's always very similar to the Debonair skins a little bit, but it's a little different. Okay. If you want kind of like a vampire looking Darius, this is your skin right here. Oh my god, lots of chromas to go with it. Yeah, he's giving like that high society, like kind of vampire. I think it's pretty cool actually. The axe, again, the axe designs. I'm actually very pleased with their how creative they're getting with the axe designs. I think they're pretty good in my opinion. This though, I don't think is for me personally. Spirit Blossom. Oh, very popular skin line here. Let's see it. He's giving, what's that character from freaking Street Fighter? Akuma? Is it Akuma? Because of the giant beads around his neck. That's what he's giving here. This is actually pretty cool. I think for a Spirit Blossom skin, they kind of need to, go hard a little bit. And I think this is pretty good. The horn, okay, the horn in the middle of the forehead. It's a little goofy to me sometimes. But sometimes I think it looks cool. Like other angles, it looks cool. Okay, the original chroma is actually perfect. This purple, sick. The horn, okay, the horn's fine. I'm ignoring the horn. The axe is insane yet again. I really like Spirit Blossom Darius. We're going to put that in the top 3 for now, actually. Next up is Porcelain. We've seen a few of these. I think the Porcelain skins are fine. I actually think maybe Porcelain looks really good on him because he's got this armor, right? I think some of the people that we've seen Porcelain skins on haven't had like armor like this, and it actually looks really sick. Dude, the axe. I'm telling you, his axe in all of these designs. Oh, ooh, this last chroma is sick. That's really cool. Color scheme. Wow, the Porcelain Darius is actually really solid because I think it works for him with his armor. And the axe is really good. But not least is, okay, Divine God King. So they came out with a different version of it, or one with maybe chromas? No, they just came out with a different version. Oh, man. All right, guys. I think they went all out with this one, too. Okay, so here's the deal. The God King skins, I'm going to loop them into one. I'm going to say the God King skins are going to be number 1 or like whatever in one of the top 3, okay, for my favorite skin. Because you're either choosing the dark one or you're choosing the light one. And personally, I think maybe I would go with the light one, but I think I would just like to loop them together. All right, in terms of the next 2, though, it's pretty easy for me. I'm actually going to be picking Spirit Blossom for the next skin. Man, I hate to do this. I hate to actually do this. You know what? We're not gonna go Porcelain. Although I really liked the Porcelain skin. I'm actually going to choose Dreadnova. Actually choosing Dreadnova. I know it's a little bit of an older skin, but I actually quite like it. It's a little bit better than some of these older ones. The Dunk Master is out of the question. But you know, Spirit Blossom really good. Porcelain is really good. I just don't want to pick the newest 3 skins for Darius in my top 3. I think that's kind of lame. So Spirit Blossom, the God King skins, either one, and then we're going to go Dreadnova, which I thought was really cool as well. Again, let me know what your favorite skin for Darius is. All right, we do have a lot of trivia actually here at the bottom. So Darius is one of 21 champions without a single ability power ratio on any ability. Darius and Draven are one of 7 pairs of siblings. And then we have Darius is 6 feet 5 inches. Geez. Tall and weighs 266 pounds. Darius was the first champion to have an autonomous recall/teleport animation. He and his brother Draven are the first related champions to be released back to back. Okay, cool. Darius was the first champion to receive chroma packs for 2 of his skins, namely Classic and Dunk Master. Okay, so he was the very first to get the chromas. Tom Kench says Darius's strength is waning and that he could help him slow times regress. This and the strands of gray hair on his head suggest Darius either is of advanced age or ages prematurely after years of exertion and combat stress. I mean, yeah, right? Like, he's basically just a regular guy, right? We didn't get any idea that he was anything more than a regular guy, so he's going to end up dying of old age or in battle, if anything. Darius is Latin transliteration through Greek, Darius, upholder of good. His new background references Darius the First, I guess. By coincidence, Darius shares Pi root with Darha, the birth name of Karma in her updated lore. Darius's abilities had different names during development, so Hemorrhage used to have a movement speed buff called Aggression, and it read, the carnage of war enlivens Darius, increasing his movement speed. Okay. Hamstring used to be, it used to be called Hamstring / Noxian Tactics instead of Crippling Strike. It used to be called Sudden Death instead of Noxian Guillotine. And then Noxian Might was originally called Blood Rage, but was renamed by player request to better reflect his personality. All right, let's move on to the rest of the wiki. All right, let's take a look at Darius's wiki here. So we have a couple things on the right. Romantic interests are Kieta Varn, which is his spouse. And then he has alleged son and alleged daughter, Decius Varn and Investia Varn, I guess is what her name is. Occupations, Triferic's Leader of Might, General of the Triferian Legion. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and read. We're not going to read the childhood. We already read all that stuff. Let's read in Noxus. Growing to adulthood in Noxus, Darius married Kieta and became a father to 2, Decius and Investia. He and Draven served as soldiers under Cyrus's war host, engaging in many war campaigns and stopping rebellions against Boram Darkwilla's throne. Darius quickly rose through the ranks, embodying the values of Noxus through his aggression, bravery, and patriotism. In one battle, after a general ordered a retreat, Darius saw him as a coward and beheaded him out of defiance, rallying the fearful troops and securing a victory. He was rewarded by being promoted to senior commander, which attracted many Noxians to join his army, but he only accepted those with the greatest strength and discipline. Feared to the point where cities surrendered at the sight of Darius's banners, his victory against the Varju got him promoted to the Hand of Noxus by Darkwill himself. As the new Hand of Noxus, Darius and his army were sent to the Freljord to conquer it, enduring countless assassination attempts and a capture from the Winter's Claw before ending in a stalemate after a long, grueling conflict. He headed back to Noxus to request a reconsolidation of the military, but found that Darkwill had been assassinated and usurped by Jericho Swain as part of his coup, which even Draven had backed. Darius began to respect Swain's accomplishments and was prepared to serve him, but he gave Darius a place in the Trifarian Legion, representing the Noxian principle of might alongside Swain as vision and the Faceless as guile. So then we have, however, Kieta was starting to become disillusioned towards Noxus after witnessing the horrific aftermath of Singe's chemical bomb in Ionia, which caused her arm to be amputated as a result of the poison, and their son Decius dying in the campaign against the Freljord. Wow, okay, I did not know any of that. Kieta expressed her worries to Darius, but he dismissed her, saying that Noxus required mercilessness and sacrifice because the Empire had to conquer, and losing one city would be severely detrimental. Okay, that's kind of trash. That's pretty crappy of him. Finally, having enough, Kieta snapped from her grief towards Decius' death, only to be killed by Investia, believing her to be weak. Wow. Oh my god. So Investia kills her mom. Horrified, Darius asked Investia about her merciless act, and she cited the Noxian philosophy and how she learned it from him. That's tragic. Where does that happen? That has to be in like a comic or something. Or like another story that we missed. All right, appearance. Darius is a large, bulky man with a serious, intense face and middle-aged features. He has fair skin and swept back black hair with a white streak. His eyes are variously portrayed as either red, green, or gray. He also has a long, straight scar over his left eye. Darius wears heavy, full-plate armor that leaves only his head and his upper arms exposed. It is a dark gray, intricately crafted, and accentuated with spikes around the shoulders and thighs. It also features a long cape and loincloth, both blood red, symbolizing Noxus. His weapon of choice is a massive two-handed axe, viciously curved and forged with the symbol of a skull where the blade meets the handle. All right, personality. Well, stern and warlike, Darius is unwaveringly dedicated to Noxus and its ideals. He is a soldier without parallel, balancing ruthless metal with sound strategy. He stands confident and firm, showing no tolerance for weakness or cowardice. Despite his intimidating demeanor, however, Darius is also deeply committed to fostering the strength of others whenever or wherever he can find it, elevating those he finds deserving and crushing those who have not earned their status. All right, abilities. We have Master Axeman. Through his countless battles within the Noxian campaigns, Darius became very adept at using his battle axe in combat. He became so feared that he would make cities surrender by the mere sight of his banners, as well as grant him the military title of Hand of Noxus. Extreme resilience. From a young age, Darius exhibited remarkable resilience to injury and pain. His body bears the visible scars of numerous battles, a testament to his enduring strength. Born an urchin in Basilic and the elder brother to Draven, Darius had to fight not only to survive, but also to provide for his sibling. This innate toughness became even more apparent during his military campaigns. Charisma. Darius is very charismatic in the eyes of the Noxian troops. After a general ordered a retreat, Darius saw him as a coward and beheaded him out of defiance, rallying the fearful troops and securing a victory. He is also known to accept anyone who is willing and able to fight for their ideals, no matter the cost. All right, moving on to relations. Okay, we have Garen in here. That's interesting. And Scion. So let's go ahead and read about all this. Darius was, so Swain. Darius was accoladed by Darkwill, but allied with Swain because he sees in the master tactician someone who can make Noxus rise. Then we have Scion. In Darius's eyes, necromancy is cheating death to justify one's undeserved continued survival. Yet for him, Scion's legacy is an example. Though when he gazes upon the undead juggernaut, he sees what might become of himself should he no longer be useful to the Empire, or rather too useful should death come knocking. So he sees Scion as something that might become of him. Interesting. Garen. Darius holds no grudge against Garen. However, so in my mind, I see Garen as like maybe the Darius over in Demacia, basically, right? However, he considers him a fool bound by a meaningless code of honor. Well, you kind of do the same thing just in Noxus, man. Despite this, he would relish killing Garen simply to prove Noxian might crushes all, even Demacian perseverance, courage, and justice, especially a paragon of said values. I would love to see a fight between Garen and Darius. That would be really crazy. Or even a war between Demacia and Noxus. That would kind of be insane. All right, Draven. Darius and his younger brother Draven are renowned as the Blood Brothers. Family ties are strong and can serve as the basis for one's strength, yet Darius sees self-serving aristocrats using theirs as a crutch for their weakness, and as a result, the perpetuation of stagnant leadership that needs to be removed and replaced. With this in mind, one cannot tell if Darius providing and caring for Draven during their childhood came out of love or even more pragmatism. The comic, Blood of Noxus, seems to imply the former. Okay, so there is a comic. All right, family, yeah. So he has 2 children, Decius and Investia Varn, mothered by his former lover, Kieta Varn. They never married, given the pragmatism of Noxus and knowing the likely trajectory of their lives at war. She was murdered by their daughter, Investia, during the Battle of Basilic, which is insane. While it was never explicitly confirmed that they are his children, it was heavily implied due to the relationship between Darius and Kieta, as well as some localizations using terms indicative of blood relation. Seeing the approval of the slaughtering of innocents by Singed and Emiston made Kieta Varn grow more disillusioned about the Empire's ambitions, which led her to rebel against the Empire, among the other events of the story. All right, last but not least, we have Samira and Viego. So during a black mist attack caused by Viego at the Immortal Bastion, Darius was temporarily possessed and fought Samira before the mist retreated. Right, okay, during the whole, Ruined King kind of stuff that happened. All right, so looking at the content for Darius, we have the Hand of Noxus biography we read. After Victory video, Blood of Noxus comic, Fear video, Noxian Brotherhood comic. Okay, so we have, we have a Noxian Brotherhood comic as well, Blood of Noxus, and then short story Proclamation of the Triferix. And then we have the Runation video, the Hand of Noxus video, the Principles of Strength short story, which is a 17-minute read, and another short story, which this is the one we read, the Winterspike Road. All right, just a little bit of trivia. He is between his mid and late 30s. No. I'm in my early 30s. Darius is not a man. There's no way he's in his mid and late 30s. He's got to be 40-something at least. Come on. Don't tell me I'm that old. Darius, Draven, Investia, and Kieta Varn were all born in Basilic. Darius isn't a crazed, bloodthirsty maniac, but more of a cold-blooded killer moving through the battlefield with powerful, precise movements and striking with deadly force where it matters most. He takes pride in combat, but there's no primal bloodlust needing to be sated. Unpredictable sadists don't always make for the best commanders. That is Harrow, the narrative writer for Riot. Okay. Darius's Trifarian Legion is probably based on the Triarii, the elite unit in the Roman Republic early period legions. The stem Trifar or Trifar is possibly based on Latin Trifarius in 3 places. Having been raised as an orphan, Darius doesn't care for titles or privileges, only to serve his empire through Noxian might. And then his armor and axe were likely made with ore from the Delver hold of the Iron Spike Mountains. I guess it probably just gives off that look or something. All right, guys, this was fantastic. We learned actually quite a bit in this. I did not know that he basically had a family. This whole family thing with the daughter killing the mom after she thinks the Empire's not doing the right thing. I mean, again, if they're going to end up making a show in Noxus, that would be kind of a cool thing to show in that show. Same thing with Singed being mentioned. I already knew about this, but Singed being mentioned with like the chemical warfare that goes on with the war in Ionia, that would be a way to involve Singed. But would Singed want to be helping out, after the whole Oriana stuff? Like now that he has Oriana, I guess Oriana technically in lore runs away, doesn't she? So, okay, anyways, I digress. All right, guys, we are starting off with the Legends of Runeterra interactions first. And then we'll move on to just his regular League of Legends interactions. But I don't think he's going to have many in those because, he's an old champion. So these are going to be actually technically the newest. We're going to start off here. It looks like he's interacting with Draven.
Party's over.
War is no game, brother.
He takes it very serious.
Stand aside. I've got work to do.
Oh, brother.
I was going to say that.
Okay, that's funny. All right, Katarina.
Come, Darius. Fight for me.
I fight for Noxus, not you.
Yep, makes sense.
I will unite the Freljord.
And I will conquer it. You'll need more
I don't think he will.
to kill me.
That's true,
We'll
though.
see.
An Ash and Darius
Time for the
fight would be
main
cool.
event.
I was afraid this day would come.
Ooh, him fighting his own brother.
We fight for those who cannot.
Has your armor even seen battle, boy?
Ooh, okay, hold on.
I stand for king and country.
You're shorter than I thought.
Ooh. I mean, Darius is freaking 6'5", according to the
For
wiki.
justice. For Demacia.
Such pretty armor for such a pretty boy.
Whoa, okay, whoa, Darius, are you coming on to Garen? I mean, that's cool, man. It's fine. Lux.
This is what Demacia brings against Noxus.
Hey, bro.
I've seen more than my share of trouble.
Yeah, don't underestimate Lux, man.
Afraid to show your face?
Ooh,
I'd be more worried about keeping yours.
I like the comeback, though, from Zed.
What's a king with no army?
One who fights his own battles.
Okay.
Noxus could use a man like you.
Noxus uses people all too often.
True.
Noxus thrives on strength like yours.
Strength? You lot wouldn't last a winter.
I do like that he kind of like appreciated Tryndamere there, right?
Remember why you fight, brother.
Blah blah Noxus, blah blah strength.
Just like old times.
But I got better looking.
I feel like I'd probably enjoy Draven's voice lines. I know a lot of you probably find him annoying, though.
I, like your pauldrons.
Yours are also acceptable.
Guys, what's going on between these two? Is there a little something going on there?
What have you learned?
Fight first, talk later.
The hand of Noxus himself.
Stay out of my way, creature.
Ooh, calling Vladimir a creature.
I'll handle this myself.
What a rare trait! The hand of Noxus!
The arena battlecaster.
Here to watch the bloodshed, sir?
Here to win the war, soldier. Stand to.
Okay.
He'll be back. I've done way worse. He'll be
Ally
back.
dies.
He's too stupid to die.
Okay, I kind of want to hear Draven. Yeah, here we go.
Draven.
Oh, so when Draven dies, he's very serious about it. Draven, of course, is still, you know, kind of being goofy.
Heave.
Ally
Hit 'em
arriving.
hard.
Out of my way!
Oh, so that's the guy from the trailer, Captain Farron.
Captain, carve a path.
Yeah, that dude's scary.
Coming in hot!
Demolitions to me.
Oh.
All will kneel before Noxus.
If any man's earned their rank, you have.
Wow. Hey, he's proud of his soldiers
Line
at
up.
least.
Only the strongest become Trifarian.
Trifarian Assessor.
Let's have some fun.
Even the Assessor's scary.
You are a parasite upon the Empire.
Oh. Doesn't like him.
Break this siege.
Captain, move in.
The world waits, begging for dominion.
The
Does
Legion
it?
welcomes your return, General.
Okay.
Only the finest serve.
Who have you brought me?
Fuse is lit!
Blow them to pieces!
Jeez, he's like hyped for battle.
We don't target the weak, you cur.
Ooh.
I
You cur.
My axe is ready.
While they waver, strike!
Okay. All right, folks. Of course, this was mostly, or I guess it technically was just Noxian special interactions, card special interactions. I don't truly know how Legends of Runeterra interactions work. So, like, if Darius comes out on a board with, like, somebody from Ionia besides Zed, I guess, like, if Shen comes out on the board, I don't know if there's any interaction between them at all. You guys will maybe have to let me know that, and maybe Skin Spotlights just doesn't upload like videos for that or something. Anyways, these were really cool. I really got to enjoy listening to his voice lines. We obviously have some more to listen to here, but these are of course the newest ones. So obviously the big difference here between Darius and Draven, Darius is very serious, he's stern. Draven's kind of the goofy guy, but he truly did care when he saw that his brother died, right? He's a very serious guy, so like he takes that stuff very seriously. He doesn't like goofing around, obviously. He wants to get stuff done. He likes to get things done. But he does appreciate strength. So we noticed that with Tryndamere a little bit. And then there might have been like one line with Garen that way. The Garen interactions were a little weird. So at first he was just making fun of him, calling him a pretty boy. Has your armor even been touched? Pretty boy. Pretty armor, blah, blah, blah. But then he got a little weird. There was some weird voice lines in there. I was like, okay, is he flirting with Garen a little bit? But I was just kind of kidding. I think it was just kind of, you know, you could look at it that way, but he was truly just kind of making fun of him. When there was the voice line where they were on the same team, they were kind of just like, we don't know how to interact with each other kind of vibes, right? Because normally they're enemies. I thought those were actually really clever. So I did like his interactions with Garen, actually, I think the most out of everybody. All right, guys, let's finally go take a look at the final voice lines for Darius. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and just go through the remaining Darius voice lines that we haven't listened to, starting off with Pick.
They will regret opposing me. I do not tolerate cowardice.
Okay, that makes sense for him. All right, moving voice lines.
Never retreat. I will not rest. My destination is clear. Noxus will rise. Strength above all.
I love how the way he said rise there.
Stay alert. Make no mistakes. Carve a path. I do not tolerate cowardice. I have my orders.
Okay, those are solid voice lines. We have Taunt.
Define Noxus and taste your own blood.
There's the blood theme a little bit there.
Don't turn your back or expose your neck.
Makes sense. All right, we have a joke from Darius. This is going to be good, right? Oh.
Noxus! How's he do it?
Oh my god, he's actually like one-upped by Garen in this sense. I mean, yeah, Garen yelling Demacia, kind of insane. We got to get to Garen at some point in the future. We got another one.
Noxus! Oh, dizzy.
Darius is just showing his age here, I guess, right? All right, we have his laugh.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Okay, his laugh is unlike any other because it's literally just a ha. Unlike some other champs actually having like kind of true laughs, right? All right, we have basic attacks and attacking.
With overwhelming force. Scurry, weakling.
Ooh, I like that one.
Exploit every weakness.
You know who? Okay, I'm just now getting the vibes. It sounds like Marcus from Gears of War. I don't know if it's the same voice actor or not.
They will regret opposing me.
Maybe not.
Death by my hand.
Ooh, I've heard that one. Death by my hand. I don't know where, but I've definitely heard that voice line before. Maybe in TFT. All right, ability casting. So activating Noxian Might or Hemorrhage.
Witness true strength. Unmatched power.
Okay, using Decimate. Just grunts. Just grunting. All right, using Crippling Strike. Oh, there's his laugh. There's actually laughing. It's like a snicker almost. Oh, I like that one. Hold on. All right, using Noxian Guillotine. And Darius yelling. All right, and then we have his death. This is going to be funny, isn't it? Bull. Okay, those are good. All right, that is everything we have voice line wise. Let's look at the little trivia here, guys, and then we'll just talk about Darius. All right, so match start. Strength will prevail. This is co-op versus AI responses. Player team victory, you have proven your strength, and then player team defeat, he says GG. So trivia. So his joke references Garen and his spin to win tactics. He and Quinn share the quote, "Stay alert." And then there's just a little bit of trivia about Dunk Master Darius, but we're not going to get into that. All right, guys, these were fantastic. Of course, the Legends of Runeterra ones, a lot more updated. We actually have interactions with our champions as well. So talking about Darius, the main reason for this reaction was truly because of how Arcane Season 2 ended. And in my mind, I know I think there was 3 places that they said we could possibly go. I believe it was Noxus, or they're already working on stuff for it. Noxus, Ionia, and for some reason, I can't think of the third one. I don't think it was Demacia, or maybe it was. For some reason, Bilgewater is popping in the head, but I don't think it was Bilgewater. So, yeah, that was part of the reason I wanted to do Darius. We actually haven't gone back to a Noxus champion in a while as well. I've done a lot of Noxus champions. There's only a little bit more that I have to do. Like, I haven't done some of the Black Rose people like Elise and stuff, but you guys let me know who I should do actually after Darius in terms of just Noxus in general. Like, who would be the next person in Noxus that I haven't reacted to that I should do next? But yeah, guys, so Darius was pretty much what I expected him to be, but he is more than that in a sense that he is the hand of Noxus, the might of Noxus, right? So he is truly one of the 3 leaders in Noxus. So he's not just a regular warrior general guy. He excels. He is the best. He is a leader of Noxus. You know, he makes decisions with Swain, I imagine. So that is kind of a big deal, right? So I think the whole reason was to get an idea of Darius in terms of if we go to Noxus anytime soon with a League of Legends show. And I think we have the full, you know, we got the full view of what Darius involved. And kind of the biggest things I think I learned from this reaction was I actually had no idea Noxus was doing kind of a campaign in the Freljord. I don't know if that's kind of like stopped or whatever since the stalemate. We obviously know about everything going on in Ionia, and we learned, you know, obviously the Singe thing with chemical warfare. So that's another reason maybe we'll get, you know, Noxus in the future. And then the whole thing with his family and his wife and the daughter thing. I don't know if they're going to, I feel like they have an opportunity to expand on that more if they end up having him in the show. So maybe they'll move on with that. Or the whole idea of like the Empire / Noxus's ideals. I think they could really dive into that and like maybe have some sort of rebellion or something going on in Noxus. I don't know. We never hear about what's truly going on inside of Noxus because I feel like it's pretty quiet in there. We don't hear much from there. We hear about the Black Rose. We hear about Swain and Darius, right? And just like Noxus trying to take over more territories and the war in Ionia. But I feel like we don't hear too much about what's going on inside of Noxus specifically. You know, we got a little bit with Swain. We got a little bit with like maybe Katarina. But, you know, I feel like we know more about what's going on in obviously Piltover and Zaun now because of Arcane. So I think it's a good idea that we could actually learn more about what's going on inside of the walls of Noxus in the future. Yeah, guys, let me know if there's anything I missed about Darius. In terms of the future Darius, I feel like he's kind of fine where he is. I think he's going to be one of the 3 leaders in Noxus. You know, he's going to continue wanting to win the war over in Ionia, I think, or Freljord. I don't know if he and Swain have any plans to go anywhere else in the world of Runeterra. It seems like it's Ionia and the Freljord. But I think Darius is in a good spot lore-wise. I don't know if they plan on doing anything with him in the future. All right, guys. I don't know if this is a bit of a shorter one. It feels like maybe it's like a medium length. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. I know Darius is kind of an older champion, but, you know, he's one of the OGs, right? So we had to get to him eventually. All right, guys. Please leave a thumbs up on this video. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. We have a bunch of other League of Legends reactions you can check out here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.